Checking out with MFG here. As some of you already know, we are headed to Rivera Maya, Mexico. We just got in the car. We got an hour-and-a-half ride to get to Boston Logan Airport. We're gonna spend the night and then we're gonna catch a flight on JetBlue to Cancun, Mexico in the morning.
We just checked into the Hilton at Boston Logan Airport with an amazing view of the airport and the Boston skyline. For a complete room tour video, check the link in the description.
We're checking out of the Hilton this morning, getting over to the airport terminal, just waiting for the shuttle to show up. The weather's changed. It's kind of rainy and windy and not very pleasant, but it's not snow. So hopefully our plane makes it.
After a quick shuttle ride from the Hilton, we were at the JetBlue terminal at the airport.
Made it through security. First stop in the airport. We're gonna go to the Chase Sapphire Reserve Lounge.
For a full video of the lounge, I've put a link in the description. The Chase Lounge is one of the nicest I've been to. The food's pretty good, the cocktails are great, and the views of the airport are amazing.
We're finally on the jetway. There's about an hour-and-a-half delay on boarding the plane. First there was multiple gate changes, then there was no catering truck, then there was no ground crew, then it was raining too hard, but we're finally starting to board. We're almost on the plane. Just found our seats. We're in exit row 11. We checked seat view room before we booked the tickets, and this was supposed to be the best extra legroom seat on the flight, and there is a ton of room here. I can stretch way out, and every seat has power, plus an additional USB on the screen. Hopefully it's a smooth flight.
Overall, the flight was pretty uneventful. There was some turbulence, but the seats were pretty comfortable.
Just arrived in Cancun. We made it through customs and immigration pretty fast. Our bags were one of the first ones off the plane, so that was nice. Now we're headed to find our private transport to the Iberostar Grand Paraiso. We hired a private transport company, Unique Transportation. We booked a Yukon Denali XL. Comes with cold drinks for the ride.
After a quick 35 to 40 minute drive, we finally arrived at the Iberostar complex. This place is ginormous. Upon arrival, the bellman greeted us with cold towels as they unloaded the car and quickly ushered us inside for some delicious pineapple cocktails. The resort staff quickly and efficiently checked us into our hotel rooms, which were ready upon our arrival. Our luggage arrived at our rooms shortly after we did. We booked a standard king room, but we were upgraded upon check-in to an upper-level king room, which gave us a great view of the jungle and a slight view of the ocean. If you look hard enough, you can see Cozumel. If you're interested in seeing the full room tour, click the link below in the description. After getting settled in, we ordered room service, which we enjoyed on the veranda. The food was pretty good, and it came in 30 minutes like they said they would. For dinner, we tried out Le Tellier, the French restaurant at the resort. The service was impeccable, and the tableside presentation was amazing. However, overall, the food was just good. After dinner, we called it a night after a long day. The next day, we planned a resort R&R day where we lounged by the pool and enjoyed the resort. Before we hit the pool, we got breakfast at the buffet. The buffet was actually above average and pretty delicious. The swim-up pool bar opens at 9 a.m. I was one of the first people there to try it out. The beer selection was limited, but the tequila and margaritas were top-notch.
Even the wait staff around the pool is fantastic. You order a drink, they bring it in like 10 or 15 minutes instead of an hour. And then even the little cabanas have a QR code, and you can order by app on your phone and they will deliver it right to your little cabana. And then you can swim over to the edge of the infinity pool, enjoy your cocktail, look out over the beach, watch the cruise ships go by.
All of that poolside relaxing made us hungry again, so we checked out the taco stand on the beach. But not before we visited this gentleman grilling pork ribs poolside. They were amazing. Beachside dining at La Brisa was amazing. The service was fast, and the octopus tacos were delicious. After lunch, we hit the high seas to try some sailing.
We finally caught some wind. It was a little bit rough getting off the beach, but we finally got out here. We're cruising out like half a knot. It's going to be a good day for sailing.
Have you ever used any of the water sports equipment that they offer at the all-inclusive resorts? Leave me a comment.
Not a whole lot of wind today, but we're making the best of it. But the water is a beautiful turquoise color. It's plenty warm enough and slightly refreshing. The sun's shining. So all in all, can't complain.
After our sailing adventure, we got cleaned up and headed off to explore the other resorts in the complex. The entire Iberostar complex had a whole system of golf cart shuttles. We caught a shuttle right from the lobby of the Grand to the Snake Bar at the Maya. The Snake Bar is housed in the building that looks like a Mayan temple. It can be seen from almost anywhere on the resort, and at night they light it up blue. Truly an amazing architectural feature of the resort. Just off to the side of the Snake Bar is the Star Cafe, one of the resort's many coffee shops. We poked our head in to check it out. Looks just like any other coffee shop. It has a decent selection of coffee, sandwiches, ice cream, pastries, and donuts. I had to give one of the delicious donuts a try.
What do you think?
It's a donut. It's not super exciting. It's good. It's way better than Dunkin' Donuts, but I bet if it was really fresh and hot, it'd be amazing.
While I was trying a donut, this peacock came up and snatched a sandwich right out of somebody's hand. He made quick work out of that sandwich and seemed to enjoy it. We continued exploring the other parts of the resort, taking in all of the awesome architecture. Eventually, we found the water park portion of the resort, with a splash pad, water slides, lazy river, and wave pool. We plan on checking those out later. We popped into the sports bar to check it out. Along with having plenty of TVs, it had this massive fish tank in the middle. We eventually found our way to one of the other Star Cafes. It appeared to have the same menu as the other cafe, but it had a little bit more room to stretch your legs. It also had a unique second-story seating area, complete with its own set of wildlife looking to snatch up your sandwiches. These loco coati were fun to watch, but they were a little too close for comfort. When the coast was clear, we headed off to dinner. For dinner, we tried Tony's Steakhouse. Located on the second floor, it had a beautiful view of the pool and the ocean beyond. Just like L'Atelier, Tony's had a great fine dining experience overall. For starters, I tried the octopus salad. It was good, but not as good as the octopus tacos. I also tried the bone marrow appetizer, which was a first for me trying the bone marrow. It kind of tasted just like the fat off a ribeye. Let me know in the comments if that's normal or I was doing it wrong. Instead of a traditional steak, I went with the braised beef short rib, and it was a little bit tough, and it seemed like the portion size was a little bit small, but the flavor was pretty good. This mushroom peppercorn sauce was the star of the meal and was absolutely delicious. The pureed broccoli and cauliflower mix, although did not look very appetizing, the flavor was fantastic. Overall, it was a great experience. It might not have been the best steakhouse all-inclusive experience I've had, but it was still pretty good. Our third day at the resort, we did a little bit more relaxing and a little bit more exploring and enjoyed the grounds.
I'm going to make a quick walk walk over to the indoor spa pool to check that out. There is a smoothie bar there, so I'm going to try and grab a smoothie, check that out. From what I understand, nobody ever goes to the spa pool. It's really quiet. However, it's perfect for when it's pouring out because it has a glass roof over the top of it. Let's go see. Just received my banana smoothie. It's very creamy with ice and a hint of banana. It is not overpowering, but still pretty good.
While I was enjoying my smoothie, Emily was enjoying the hydrotherapy options in the pool. Emily really enjoyed that hydrotherapy session, and overall we liked the spa.
We just took a 5-minute walk over from the Grand Paraiso side of the resort, and now we are in the Maya Lindo part of the resort, so we could check out the water slides and the lazy river. This lazy river is pretty lazy. We had to push ourselves along in a few spots, but for the most part, it's lovely. It's shaded with palm trees and mangroves, and it's pretty relaxing.
It looked busy, but there was no lines to ride any of the water slides. I tried them all. My favorite was the one with the blue mat. For lunch, we grabbed a poolside burger that was freshly cooked and tasted delicious.
Sailing attempt 2. We're out here on the 7 Seas. Wind's a lot better today. We made it off the beach without having to be pushed off. Let's go see if we can find some pirates.
The sailing ended up being pretty good. We were able to get pretty far down the coastline away from the resort. It was very enjoyable. Before dinner, we took ourselves on a self-guided safari to try and find one of the wild monkeys that roams the grounds. We were unsuccessful at finding a monkey, but we did find the flamingos and the black swan.
It's like 6:30 in the morning here. Still pitch black outside. We are waiting for our private guide to pick us up and take us over to the Tulum Mayan Ruins. Should be a pretty exciting day.
Cenotes. From here is gonna be like 1 hour and 10 minutes. In case if you need to stop for any reason, please let me know. Right here we have a cooler with waters and sodas. In case if you need one.
Thank you.
Excellent.
And the controls for the AC are on top. Very good.
All right,
Awesome.
very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And watch your feet.
The ride to the Tulum ruins only took about an hour, but it felt like it took forever. We did get caught in traffic going through Playa del Carmen. Our tour guide, who is a self-proclaimed history buff, was an expert on the Mayan civilizations. The Mayan city, which may have been called Zama, which means City of Dawn, is built on 40-foot cliffs overlooking the ocean. One of the last Mayan cities to be built, it was built somewhere between the 13th and 15th century and was occupied as late as the 16th century. The first mention of these ruins was in 1518 by Juan Diaz. However, a fully detailed description of the ruins was not published till 1843 by John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood. Not long after we arrived, so did the rains, but it was kind of a relief from the hot sunshine. We continued our tour around the buildings and over the cliffs. We were even rewarded with a rainbow. I was truly blown away by some of these architectural features that had so much detail and are still standing almost 1,000 years later. We spent about 1 hour exploring the ruins and learning all about the Mayan people and their civilization. There was so much great culture and amazing views. The tour ended by us climbing through the ancient wall of the city. The next stop on our tour was to a cenote, which is a natural pit or sinkhole which forms when the limestone underneath dissolves. The cenote we went to is called Nicteja, which means water flower. This cenote is unique because it has so much water vegetation and it is inhabited by fish, which is pretty uncommon. Most cenotes in Mexico are connected by an underground river system. On this map, you can see how the center is a different color. That is all the above ground portion that you can see. The dark blue is part of the underwater cave system that connects the cenotes. The crystal clear, fresh water was cool and refreshing. Our guide took us as far into the cave as we could go. It was pretty awesome that you could see people even further into the cave underwater scuba diving. This was hands down one of the coolest places I have ever experienced in my life. I was even able to jump off the cliffs into the water.
That was fun.
After the cenote, we stopped for an authentic Mexican lunch and headed back to the resort. We spent the remaining daylight hours on the beach. We wanted to soak in as much of the warm air and sunshine as we could before heading back to cold, snowy New England. Our last stop in Mexico before boarding the flight was the airport lounge included with my priority pass. It was very busy, however the cocktails were fantastic. They even had my new favorite, the mezcalita. Thank you for watching my video. Please continue to support my channel by giving me a like and a subscribe now.